Consider Mr. James Ritz.
Thank you. Thank you, sister, for that generous and very nice introduction. What I would just like to touch base with everybody on today is how important your health is. And for as important as your family, your spiritual health, and all those other things that your life is involved with, your health is more important, because without it, you have nothing. You are a vessel in a temple, and your body is not your own. It's on a loaner. And you know, if you borrow something from one of your friends or family, you want to return it in the same fashion. So as God has given us these bodies as vessels, as temples, we need to take care of them. And there's a way to do that. You know, and I know we all suffer with different ailments or whatever, but it's still the way to take care of it. So, you know, if you can take just a little time every day and just think about your health. And that's not being selfish. That's just what God wants us to do. So I would like to open with just a few verses of his word and, you know, may God add a blessing to it. And the first one is in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 3, 16 and 17. 16 is, know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. Verse 17, if any man defileth the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God, for the temple of God, holy, which temple ye are. So he's telling you that you are a temple, God's temple. God dwells in you. So why not take care of that temple? Exactly. So, and we go to Corinthians, 1 Corinthians again, chapter 4, verse 19 and 20. Two of my favorites. What, verse 19, what know ye not, that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you. So the Holy Ghost is dwelling within us as we speak every day, which ye have of God. God has given it to us, and ye are not your own. So he's clearly telling you, your body is not your own. So let's take care of it. Verse 20, for ye are bought with the price, and we know what that price was, Jesus on the cross. So the price has been paid for what you have. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. So even your spirit and your body all belongs to God. So we're going to use that as a baseline for how we're going to take care of our bodies. And ladies, you are the backbone of the family. You know, the men of the head, but you know y'all handle everything. So we like to start with something that we like to call our nutrition. And, you know, we don't always eat as we're supposed to eat. And, you know, as black people, as black families, you know what I'm saying, we got those home remedies and the home recipes, delicious though they may be, but they're not always healthy for you. So I want to break down the food groups for you initially, and 3 key points that you can just revert back to, even now, that will bring back good health and prosperity in your life. You know what I'm saying? So you can be used as that vessel for God. The first thing I want to talk to you is about protein. So we all know proteins is being meat. All of us might not eat all kinds of meat. You know, some meats we don't eat. Some meats we don't eat the beef. Some of us don't eat chicken. Some of us don't like fish. We can get protein in different kinds of ways. The proteins are the building blocks of our body. They're actually what our body needs to grow. There are 24 amino acids in proteins. 8 of them are essential. You can only get those through proteins. So if you're not getting that, the most important muscle that you have in your body, anybody know? Your heart. So unless you're doing proteins correctly, your heart fails. Now, some of us may have heart trouble, let's say from birth. And this is extended from your family and how they were eating. So if you want to stop the process of poor health, then it starts with you, the mothers, the daughters, the wives. You know, you at home can control how your family, how you eat. So you can have that healthy family. So as I was saying, the proteins break down in your body into 24 amino acids. And those amino acids, you know what I'm saying, help you at the cellular level build muscle. And if anybody's seen anybody having a heart attack or watch TV, I'm quite sure you watch some show, somebody having a heart attack, the first thing they do is they come to you with this giant needle and they stick it straight in your heart. And all it is nitrogen, nitrous oxide. And that's all that muscle eats. It don't eat nothing else. It don't grow from anything else. It doesn't strengthen it. Nothing else strengthens it but nitrous oxide. And this is what the protein breaks down in your body as. So it's very important to have protein in every meal that you eat. Now we're going to talk about how much you should be eating. The standard is 4 meals a day. So if you're not having 4 meals a day, then you're not getting the proper nutrition that you need in your bodies. And we're not talking about sitting down, eat a big plate of food, you know what I'm saying, everything loaded, potatoes, chicken, the whole nine. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a nice, small, healthy portion of food every 3 hours. Think of when you were a baby. When you were a baby, your mama came to you every 3 hours. She changed your pamper, you know what I'm saying? You woke up crying. Your pamper was changed. She cleaned you up. She loved you up. She gave a bottle to you. You played a few minutes and you went to sleep. 4 hours later, the process starts all over again. At no other time in your life were you as healthy as you were when you were a baby, when you were born. As life goes on, we tend to stray away from that. You know, we got family, we got kids, I got the job, I can't eat, I can't do this, and your body begins to fail. And you're wondering why. Oh, I can't eat 1 meal a day, I don't like breakfast, I don't like that. So when you start deleting things from that original process that was started when you were a little baby, over time, it's going to get you. So think about adding that little simple protein, and if you check my website, you do the QR code, the hype right there, and everything will be mapped out for you. And each individual has their own nutritional plan. So I can't tell you to do this, and you to do the same thing, and you do the same thing, and everybody gonna get the same results. Because we're not all the same. Our bodies are different. So as a trainer, what we like to do is bring you in, and I don't like to call myself a trainer. I like to call myself a developer, because we're developing people. You know what I'm saying? Some things you may know, some things you may not know. And this is what we want to do. We want to develop you to be able to take this home to your families, church, wherever you go, to everybody you know. So proteins are very important. The next nutritional fact that I would like to bring forth is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are real simple. They're the sugars in your body. Carbohydrates could be a potato, bowl of oatmeal, bread, rice, you know, and so forth. Those are your complex carbs. Then you have simple carbs. That's the stuff that kind of comes out the ground. Your vegetables, good carbs. So you want to have that kind of stuff in your diet as well. And this is something you should be eating 4 times a day. You know what I'm saying? You say, nah, I don't want to eat that 4 times. That's too much food. I can't take it. But remember, when you were a baby, you were taking in 3, 4, 5 ounces of milk a day, and your little stomach won't be that big. And as you stop eating, the first thing that happens to you is your metabolism slow down. And you're wondering why I'm so tired. Your metabolism, oh Lord, I can't make it. Ooh, I ain't getting no sleep last night. Oh Lord, what in the world going on? These kids. But I'm telling you, your metabolism slows down, and your body's going to tell you exactly what's wrong with you. And the more you deny it what it needs, the worse it's going to get. Before you know it, you're at the doctor, he giving you a bottle of pills to pep you up, and you're up for about 5 hours. Then when you come down, and then you go through this vicious cycle over and over again. When nutrition is all you need. When you start eating right, treating your body like it's supposed to be treated, you can put the medical business out of business. You can put the medical professionals out of business. They have no use. What does the doctor want you to do? Be sick. Because he don't have a job unless you're sick. He got a pill for everything. High blood pressure, low blood pressure, diabetes, whatever, one foot bigger than the other, he can fix it. If you want to go to him, pay him all that money, fine. 9 to 13, if you don't have insurance, he can't fix you. So that's what it is. But your carbohydrates are very important because that's your energy food. Your body needs that energy. Think of your energy food as, if you know cars, and I'm a car guy, that can of nitrous oxide you put in your tank. So you got gas in there, but you put that nitrous oxide in there, your car like zoom. And this is what carbohydrates do, because sugars break down in your body, and that's your energy food. And your simple carbs break down in your body a lot easier because they're natural. Complex carbs, those rices, those boxed potatoes, you know, I don't know, y'all trying to sneak them in, anything, those egg noodles, all those kind of things are complex carbohydrates. They were processed. So your body has to have time in order to break that down in order for it to be useful. And then it has to find a way to discard it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it just stores it as fat. So you want to get away from the complex carbohydrates and do simple carbs. A vegetable, you know what I'm saying? A potato is nice, a yam. Anything that comes out of the ground is good for you. God said, when he created everything, he said, it was good. Now that stuff that came out of the factory, he didn't say nothing about that being good, did it? You know what I'm saying? How many people do you see in the grocery store? And I don't do a whole lot of shopping, but when I do, they go to that aisle with the instant this and the canned that and all that. And the vegetable aisle, stuff stacked up till it go bad. Because nobody wants to take the time to prepare their food anymore. I don't have the time. So taking a little time to prepare your food is great because it's going to benefit you, your family, and everything else. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to build God's temple to be as strong as we can be so that he can use us in the way he need to use us. Now, we broke down and tired. Lord, that's why I need to be going to that meeting, but I can't make it because I'm tired. But if you got that energy, if your body is strong, if you're strong physically, your spirit is strong. See how he can use you? Me? I think that's real nice. So another one of the health facts that I want to bring forth is fat. And everybody thinks fat is bad. No, it's not. There are all kinds of fat. Two, basically. You have the saturated fat. Sounds real bad, don't it? And it is. And saturated fat is that stuff that you see, and we all cook bacon or fried a pork chop or a piece of sausage. Yes, dear. Oh. And that stuff, that white stuff that's gritty if you hold it in your hand, that forms when it cools, that's saturated fat. So saturated fat at room temperature, it hardens. It hardens. And just imagine what that's doing in your body. Harden. This is where you get the hardening of the arteries, and this is blocked up, my feet swelling up, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff comes from the saturated fat. The other kind of fat is unsaturated fat, which is not as bad, but it's processed. And we all know what processed foods do. It takes time to break down our body. Now me, I like to cook too. And the oil that I use is olive oil. My nephew, he uses it all the time. Great cook. You want a good meal? Jason is the guy. But olive oil is a good natural oil. It breaks down in your body very well. It's actually good for your skin. And it has a lot of great properties. So think about when you're in the store and you want to fry that chicken. They got air fryers now, so you don't have to fry it. But think about grabbing that saturated fat and the unsaturated fat and what the pluses and the minuses are in having those in your body. Now, the rule of thumb with fat, period. And you look on any package, anything that you eat, there's a gram of fat per serving. The rule of thumb is no more than 20 grams of fat per day. And that's in all 4 meals that you should be eating per day. And that's acceptable for you to be able to keep your body functioning properly. Now, let's just use something, for instance, a cheeseburger. Go to McDonald's, get a cheeseburger. And I know we all been there. In a cheeseburger, there's about 15, 20 grams of fat in one cheeseburger. So you eat one cheeseburger and you're done for the day. You know what I'm saying? The only thing else you can drink all day is water, which is fine if you want to survive off of water all day. But then you're excluding your proteins, your carbohydrates, everything else is going to make your body function. You're excluding that. Your little metabolism is just falling apart. Because I wanted that cheeseburger. And another thing it does for you, see, once you stop eating 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day, your body has nothing to function off of. So what you're doing is you're slowing that metabolism down. Here we go. Your metabolism is slowed. Your body has been fooled into saying, well, you're not going to feed me, so everything you put in me, I'm going to store it. How does your body store stuff? As fat. Here you go. I only ate once today, a slice of bread, and I gained 10 pounds. You wondering what in the world is going on. I'm not eating. But whatever you take in, your body is going to store it. And that's an awful situation to be in physically because it takes a lot to revert that because you did so much to get to that point. And I know we all go on those starvation diets. We've been on them. Oh, I'm trying to get in this dress girl for the wedding. We going on this cruise. You know how it is. And I know. My wife does the same thing. And she ends up putting herself in a worse state. You might lose 5, 10 pounds. As soon as you come off of that little nutritional plan, you try to put them pants on and they not fit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got to go buy a bigger size. Oh, girl, you look good in that. I don't do that. If you ain't good, you ain't good. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be the last one to lie to you and tell you that your physical situation is better than what it is. But we can fix it. You know what I'm saying? All that can be fixed. And that's just reverting back to what you were doing when you were a child. Your mother didn't have to tell you to come in and eat because she made sure you ate good. You ate a lot. I know my father, boy, get out the refrigerator, because I was always eating. But you ate good. I played hard. Me, my nephew over there, football, track, we did it all. Running up and down the street, bicycles, everything. We was everywhere. So you got plenty of exercise. The only thing that your parents had to make you do was go to bed. Boy, go to bed. We stop doing those things, what happens? And the older we get, the less we think we have to do with that. Well, I'm too old to play. Go ahead, I'm too old for that. You know everything there. But yet and still, you're falling apart. Now look, what was the little girl that was here a little while ago? She had energy to boot. Woo, woo, woo. Everybody else in here like this. Why? Her body is young. It's processing everything that it's getting, and it's working for her. So the fats are good. You know what I'm saying? You just have to watch the ones you take. 20 grams per day, 4 meals per day. The next thing, and it's very simple, water. How many bottles of water have you drank today? None. She said none. 1, can I get 2? You drink water, okay. Now the rule of thumb of water is 8 glasses a day, whatever the case may be. Some people walk around with a gallon of water just drinking it all day, which is great. You got to flush your system because that's the body and the way it flushes itself out. 2, it's like the oil in your body. It lubricates everything. It makes your kidneys function better, your liver function better. It's how things flow in your body. You get it? So if you're not drinking enough water, we ain't talking about coffee. We ain't talking about having no smoothie. We ain't talking about I drink a fruit drink today. You know what I'm saying? None of that stuff is clean water. We're on a planet that's 3/4 water. Why not drink it? I don't know why they're making us pay for it, but I ain't got nothing to do with that. But drink plenty of water. Rule of thumb, get up in the morning, drink 2 bottles of water. Then have your nice breakfast. Small. It ain't got to be nothing crazy. A protein, a couple of boiled eggs maybe. Oatmeal is great. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some wheat toast, if you got to have some toast in it. You know what I'm saying? That's a good breakfast. Something for your body to get started on. Because if your temple ain't strong, you can't do nothing. You dragging out of the house. Oh, Lord, how am I going to make it through this day? Stop at Starbucks. Get that super duper coffee so you wired. You know what I'm saying? These people make a lot of money off of you being in bad health. And the market right now is just here for you to be in bad health. Everything is, you watch commercials on the TV, they got a cure for everything. But what's the downside to that? The side effect. Everything got a side effect. And most side effects are what? It's going to kill you. You can take it, but it's going to kill you. You can take this, you'll feel good for a minute, but it's going to kill you. Whew. It's a good thing the Lord is here, because he ain't offering that. That ain't what he offered. And that's not what he wants for you. He wants you to be healthy, vibrant. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen somebody just looks healthy? You just want to be around them. And when they start spewing the word of God, you're like, oh, Lord. When I start talking about God, you're like, you ain't at the gym working out. No, I like to talk about the Lord too, you know. He's good to me. It's time for me to give him the praise for some things. You know what I'm saying? For all things. But if I'm walking around like this, I can't sing no praise. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of people, oh, the Lord is merciful to me. Why? You don't show it. You know? We supposed to be soldiers for the Lord. Our bodies are supposed to be healthy for the Lord. We supposed to honor him in every way. If you don't honor this, what he gave you, you'll sit down to a plate of who knows what, or drink who knows what, or not rest your body, you know, just abuse yourself physically. You're not honoring him. So why would he honor you? And that's just a simple fact. You know what I'm saying? And as women, as I stress, I got 4 sisters, no brothers. This is the closest thing I got to a brother in here. Love them to death. But as women, you know what I'm saying, who we depend on wholeheartedly. My mother, I got 4 sisters. A mother. Grew up in the house with them. Ooh, God bless me. But I give them all the credit in the world, because just about everything I know, because my father was a working man, loved him to death as well, very loving father, Christian man, but he was a working man. So all of the lessons that I got was from a woman. Ain't that special? Mothers of the earth, you know what I'm saying? My sisters, I'm telling you, it's time for us to stand up and start doing the right things. Number one, for ourselves. Because if you can't do it for yourself, you can't give a message to nobody else. You can't say go out and be a Christian and you're not a Christian. You can't say be a good health and you ain't in good health. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, just take heed to some of the things that you can do physically to keep yourself physically. And then your family will follow suit. If your kids see you getting up in the morning, jogging, moving around, eating a good meal, they're going to do the same as well. If they see you skipping breakfast and going out the door, Mom, I don't want nothing to eat, I'm gone. You know? And that's just setting a pattern for what's to come, for the next generation and the next generation. Oh, man, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, great cooks. Oh, man, they had plates of food in front of you like nothing. But it wasn't the right thing to eat. Not that it wasn't good, but it wasn't the right thing to eat. And they were setting a pattern that we as black people have held to as a tradition. We say it's traditional to be in bad health. And who just takes advantage of it? Those medical people, oh, no, here they come again. And then they want to put a graph on the board of how bad we are. But here at the Hype Factory, we try to teach development. At the Hype Factory, we try to teach you how to take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, because it's all one and the same. You speak in the Bible, it's 3. God, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. Everything is in 3s. I wonder why. I'm the 3rd. So, you know, just moving on, you know, water is very important. So you need to be taking in at least 8 ounces of water per day. At least. 2 bottles in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I only need you 6 more bottles to do. So you do a bottle every 3 hours. Boom. By the time you go to bed, you got in 8. It's not a whole lot. 4 meals. Remember, we're not taking away from the food. So 4 meals a day. That's our nutrition. Now, the second part of actually keeping your body in shape outside of nutrition, and that's very important, because 60% of what you do, as far as your health, is what you eat. You're all what you eat. So if you don't put the right stuff in, the right stuff ain't going to come out. Now, the second part of it is what me and my nephew like to call fun time. That's the training. That's playtime. Now, playtime for us might not be playtime for you. I'm just saying. We're very serious about physical training. And you should be as well. Because if you're not taking care of yourself physically, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. If you like sitting down watching TV, me too. Nobody likes watching a ball game better than me. I'll watch football, basketball, tennis, croquet, marbles. I don't care what it is. I got 2 TVs down in my garage. I keep them both going. So I love to watch TV. But while I'm in the garage, you know what I'm doing? A push-ups doing the commercial. A sit-ups doing the commercial. So I make it work for me. So I don't know what works for you, but I know physical fitness works for me. You're talking about a man who's almost 70. So I have used what God has given me as his temple to keep me upright. Not only am I 70, I've had 2 back operations, 3 days apart. So, I've been through it, and I understand if you have physical conditions, how they can debilitate you. But you can push through it, because God didn't make nothing that was wrong. And he put things in our way so that we can defeat them. When I came out of back surgery, the doctor told me, you're not going to be able to walk again. You're not going to be running again. You can leave the weights alone. This guy was like top 5 surgeon in the country. The surgery was $1.2 million. I ain't got it. It sure was good. But he said I would never, be able to do the things that I like to do again. And I said, are you good at what you do? He said, I'm the best. I said, well, if you're the best, then I got the best with me. I said, you do what you do, and let me and God do the rest. 6 weeks later, I'm back at the gym. He looking at me like, what? I said, bro, I feel great. I can't do what I used to do, but I can do something. And I'm in the mindset of, I don't want to be hurt. I can't do what I used to do, but I can do something. And I'm in the mindset of, I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be like, oh, man, my back hurt. I see my friends now. I just moved back from New Jersey. Drove buses for 25 years. And my friends who I see, who I grew up with, wheelchairs, the ones who live in, canes. I play with their grandsons. Me and Jason train their grandsons, football, basketball, all that. We train their grandsons. They call me Unc. Unc, what you doing? I'm doing. Come on, get with us. And so I feel blessed to be able to run with my grandkids, my sister's grandchildren, So this is what I'm telling you about your vessel. Keep it, because it's a gift. God gave you a good functioning body, and he wants you to keep it that way for his service. If nothing else, for his service. So your exercise is very important. So if you come to the Hype Factory, or if you don't, if you just want to give me a call, James, what can I do? What can I do? And I'm going to give you instructions on what you can do. Of course, I want you to come in and train with me, because there's no better instruction than getting it from the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? But your exercise program, and each one of them are going to be catered differently to the person. And nobody's beyond help. I don't care what state you think you're in. My sister just had a stroke a year and a half ago. Me and the sister were talking. She fired her physical therapist because she wanted me to train her. She just recently got an apartment on her own. A blessing. And even more of a blessing to me, this is what my blessing was. She said, you know what, brother? If it wasn't for you, I couldn't have gotten this apartment because I couldn't have moved around by myself. And she's still fighting and struggling today. But she knows what's going to be a good thing for her. And her physical conditioning is it. And like I said, I've been like this all my life. I trained his mother, she's knee surgery, replacement, back in the gym. So there's nothing that you can't overcome. You put it in God's hands, and he gives you the willingness to do it. He gave you the body to do it. He just needs to give you the willingness to do it. Push forward. So exercise is 30% of what we do. We got the 60% nutrition, 30% is exercise. Now, the last thing is, and it's so easy, but it's so hard for us to do. sleep. I know, y'all, I know. Getting sleep is like the hardest thing for us to do. You know why? Even though we may go to sleep at night, we're not resting. We're not resting. We still got something on our mind. How of us can half get to sleep? Before you know it, we worry about something else. What's that? I can't sleep. My kids got me worried to death. My husband this. My back hurt. My feet hurt. My job. It's always something to keep us from getting good rest. So if we're not getting our minds in a state of peace, and I don't know about y'all, I fall under my knees at night. That give me a little peace right there. Letting I know, look, God, thank you for getting me through another day. You have blessed me with all these blessings that you have, pressed upon me. And tomorrow, if I open my eyes, it's another day. If I don't, I ain't worried. You know why? Because I'm in heaven. You know what I'm saying? People say, oh, I'm scared of dying. Not me. You know what I'm saying? Not me. Especially with the quality of life that he's given me, almost 70 years. Come on now. Why am I worried? So if I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm good. Y'all might be crying. Y'all might not be, but, family might be crying. But when it boils down to getting rest, if you can get that peace of mind when you go to bed, just take that, as they say, USA moment. Lord, whatever's happened to me during the course of the day, it's a done deal. You can't do nothing about it no more, nowhere. Tomorrow ain't promised to you, so you can't do nothing about tomorrow either. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing about tomorrow. So you give it to him at night and let it lay. And rest your mind and rest assured it's already taken care of. Me and the sister was talking just yesterday. 2,000 years ago, all of your problems was taken care of. Why are you worried about them today? He said, give it to him. And if you're not giving it to him and you're still worried about it, or you think you're giving it to him and still worried about it, then you're not trusting in what he says. So you have to trust in what he says and allow him to do his work. Because he don't want you to worry about nothing. All he wants you to do is focus on him and what he has for you to do. So, I'm talking to you today because these are things that I've experienced. And I wouldn't pass anything on to anybody that I haven't gone through myself. So I understand your struggles in your life, but ladies, I'm telling you, you are the backbones of this world, black community alone. You know that. So until you guys start stepping up, and you know how your men are in your life, oh, baby, I'll do it later. I ain't gonna do that. I'm grown. They're gonna give you every excuse why. Put that food in front of me, see don't they eat it. Turn that TV off when you're watching the ball game. You might get an argument, because you will get one from me. Come on, baby, let's go walk around the block. Let's call up Jason. Let's call up James at the Height. Come on, let's go over and see what they got up in there. Get out of the house. Grab your babies. We got a semi-pro cheerleader team that we train on Wednesdays, right, Jay? And one of the issues with them was, and they were moms, some of them were single moms, where they didn't have anybody to watch the babies. Me, I don't care. Bring your children, because they need exercise too. Me and my nephew talked about putting together a program that it's the mommies and the babies. Y'all exercise together, because you're teaching your children what they should be doing. So you're killing actually 3 birds with 1 stone. You're getting in shape yourself, you're getting your kids in shape, and you're knocking them out so when they get home, they go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So you can get some sleep too, peace of mind. So, these are some of the programs in the development center that we're trying to put together so that everybody's included. We don't just say, and I train a lot of the athletes and and it's a joy being around young people because it makes me young. But the older ones are the most reluctant. Oh, I'm too old for that. A gentleman was in the gym today with Jason. He was training one of the football players, and his grandfather was in there. And I walked in, I told him I was coming to the conference. He said, oh, you look nice. I was like, thanks. I was like, I'm old too, man. He was like, yeah, man. I said, man, you need to come in here and work out. I'm old. I just had knee problems. I just left the doctor. Always an excuse. So you're going to give all these people all this money where you can just walk right in here and start taking care of yourself. And it's a learning process. And as you learn how to take care of your own body, then you can pass it on to your children. And your children can pass it on to their children. And we are not a race of people that looks like and always standing like something is wrong with us. You know, it used to be the black athlete used to be the most high performance athlete in the world. We used to champion in everything. It used to be that way. Now we're kind of falling behind the stick. You know what I'm saying? Not that everybody else is not going to catch up, but as I visited other gyms around, you know, I see everybody else but us training, something that we do naturally. You know what I'm saying? They didn't try to put us in slavery because we was out of shape. I don't know. I ain't seen no Eskimos in, you know, I ain't gonna talk about nobody, but you know what I'm saying. We are people who were bred to be of good health, good spirits. We were spiritually grounded. Years ago. Check your Bible. So let's not fade to the wayside, fall to the wayside. Come see us at the height. Come see us anywhere. Like I said, you'll have my website there. QR code, you just take your phone, plug in. All the information is there for you. And we can prosper together. So, you know, without further ado, just one other thing. I have a go-to kind of nutrient that I promote and that we promote at the height. And a lot of you guys have probably heard about it. It's called sea moss. Yes. See, because a lot of these old remedies and things that our parents used to give us, grandma, you know, I used to go up there and get that salve and rub it on you and all of a sudden you heal. You know, I used to get that little, what they call it, that little syrup in that bottle. They ain't had no label on it. And they pour it down your throat. All of a sudden you heal. All that was all natural. Sometimes we want that just molasses that was in there. So, take a castor oil. That stuff is all natural. And it will heal you. Now you go to the doctor, one pill costs you $300-400. And it don't heal you. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. So the thing that I do, and people ask me, James, you know, how do you manage to stay in such good shape? Energy levels always up. And I said, brother, you know, a guy came to me like 15 years ago. And we were in the gym working out. He's a workout partner of mine. And I was feeling a little down. Oh, man, I'm tired. You know, driving the bus and all that. So he went to his locker, got his little protein shake, and I drank it. About 15 minutes later, I was like, feel good. I'm in there lifting like crazy. So I didn't really think about it so much then. But when we got back to the locker room, Ray said, how you feel, man? I said, man, I feel good. He said, that's that sea moss. I was like, what? He said, sea moss. And so I started to do my research on it. Sea moss has 90 different nutrients in it. 90. It's like a superfood. It will make you just feel just great. It's great for your respiratory system. It is excellent for your digestive tract. You know, we all suffer with that gut health. Y'all heard it on TV now. Gut health. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Gas, all that old stuff. Constipated, whatever you want to call it. Sea moss will work with that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not something that's going to just take the pain away right away. But if you ingest this stuff on a regular basis, it has a lot of benefits. Like I said, it's a superfood. And we do sell it. I have some in the back. And if you want to purchase some, you can get it. But it's one of my go-tos. And I put it in everything. Coffee, oatmeal, smoothie. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when I get greedy, I just go and just scoop it out, take it. And it tastes like nothing. And it melts in whatever is hot. And I was talking to someone outside about me and my nephew, our family, we have a pancake recipe, and it's homemade. And I put sea moss in the homemade, just so my family can get it. So, I mean, these are some of the things, if you do research on the natural kind of cure-alls, the natural vitamins, the natural herbs and spices that God has provided for us to use. You know, this ain't nothing that you got to go out there and do nothing great for. A little research. We all got a cell phone. Pull it out, look at what's good for your body instead of running to the doctor every time something hurts you. Not that they don't have their place, because they do. My surgeon was an excellent guy, and he was just amazed at the recovery after my surgeries. And I gave God the credit. I said, man, God healed me. You know what I'm saying? You did what you do. Your hands was in it, but God was working. And he worked through you, in me, and manifests himself in me. His vessel, his temple. This is God. This ain't mine. All this is God. So I work to keep it right here in my soul and up here. Because if all this ain't strong, then it's a crack in your armor. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to have that crack in your armor. So whatever God has in store for you, whether it's been of the ministry, like so many of you heard great ministry today, and I heard some passionate, you know what I'm saying? Passionate mentions today. I mean, people were just talking. I'd be like, oh, I'm amazed. And things I never thought about, because I never been to a women's conference. But, I mean, I was really enlightened. I was really enlightened on what I was hearing. And, but I'm saying, as we move through life, just think of, you know, saying our nutrition and our health is being just as important as our spiritual health and our mental health. And be able to pass that on to our families, because this is how generations are built. We know not when the Lord comes again. We don't know. He could be here in 5 minutes. But it could be another 50,000 years. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So whatever time you got here on this planet, you know what I'm saying, for him to use you, then you want to be at your best. Yes. You want to be at your best for him. You know what I'm saying? I look at people all the time and I say, oh man, that's a great looking person. And you are attracted to them because of the way they look. And when they start spitting God's word out of their mouth, you're like, oh. And it just brings you to them even closer. So, you know, for as beautiful as you think you are, or can be, or should be, God is using that as well. You know what I'm saying? Just like the devil uses things against you, God is 1,000 times more powerful than he is. Amen. You know what I'm saying? You think the devil is strong? Follow him and see where that leads you. You know what I'm saying? Start doing the bad things in your body and see where that leads you. Follow the Lord, and you look at all the prophets in the Bible. Those that followed him, it ended up pretty good, didn't it? The ones that didn't, we all know where they go. So, you know, with that being said, ladies, you know, that kind of wraps up what I'm doing. Like I said, make sure you hit our QR code on the screen, and it just takes the matter, you just going up to the screen, locking in on your QR code, and all the information that, you know, I presented today, as well as the other programs that we have involved, you know what I'm saying, with the hype factor, as we call it, 900C Broad Street, and that's in Portsmouth, right off of Linden Boulevard, right across from the post office. Dr. Dana, she's been there, so if you need a little bit more endorsement, she'll tell you what it is. I'm hyped about it, and it's just not, you know, for us, it's an activity center. So if you have another activity you want to have going on, baby shower, anything of that nature, any kind of group gathering, sisters meeting, I don't care, next conference, makes no difference to me. All that can be done right there. All that can be done right there. And we have 2 facilities, and the other one is on Airline Boulevard, and we have access to that too, and that's the Greenway. But this is basically the one that Jason and I work out of, and we're trying to build this up. We're probably going to have a grand opening close to the beginning of next month, so that everybody will be out and invited. You just come, bring your family, bring your kids, bring whoever, and come and visit us there. So we'll let you know you keep up with the website and the QR code and get that done. Other than that, Doctor, that's about all I have. I appreciate you guys having me here. I feel a little out of place being the only guy in here, but, you know, it was good for me. It was good. So I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.